everybody, welcome back to Easy Weeknight Cooking with Heart's Desire Spice Blends. And as I said earlier this week, we are reshooting a holiday favorite, how to do scratch stuffing or dressing. We are going to actually start off by turning our oven to 350 and letting that heat up. Now, what are we gonna need? We are going to need 2 cups of chicken broth or turkey broth, some sort of broth like that, 2 cubes of butter. Now, what I've done here is I've cut up my cubes of butter and taken about 1 tablespoon aside to saute my vegetables with. So 2 cubes of butter, about 6 to 7 cups of bread cubes. Now this is just toasted bread, dried bread. You can get this kind of thing at your local bakery where it's totally unseasoned, and I highly recommend this. Your local bakery always has day-old bread that they're going to be wanting to do something with, and guess what? Good Dog Bakery in Myrtle Creek gave us these bread cubes. This is sourdough, and I've already taken a snitch. It's wonderful. 1 cup of onion, or about 1 onion. 1 cup of celery, or about 2 ribs. And of course, Provincial Poultry. The Provincial Poultry is what's really going to set things apart and make this what it is. It's got a wonderful flavor profile that is neither dusty nor grassy, but full of flavor, and it actually tastes like there's salt in there, but there's not a drop. Let's get cooking. Start your oven at 350, and then we're going to heat up a pan and throw in about 1 tablespoon of butter and let that melt. Now, while that's doing its thing, we can bring over these bread cubes. Now, as you can tell, it is just regular bread, and it's been dried so it's crispy, and we're going to throw in 1 tablespoon of Provincial Poultry right over the top. Give it a nice good spread, and then stir it in. This is going to distribute those spices amongst all of your bread cubes. You're going to want to make sure you scoop up all those beautiful spices up off the bottom of your bowl. And now we can put that back aside, and we have melted butter. A hot pan with some melted butter. And now what we're going to do is throw in our onion and celery and give this a quick saute. Yum. Make sure things are pretty even on the bottom of your pan and let it brown. Meanwhile, bring over your butter. I like to cut up my butter, that way it melts a little bit faster, a little bit more evenly. Go ahead and put this in the microwave for probably about 30 seconds and melt your butter, because we're going to need to pour it and our stock into everything once this is browned. And go ahead and fold everything in. This is such an easy recipe. It's almost as easy as stovetop. And why not get all that beautiful extra flavor without nearly the objectionable ingredients that you're gonna find in box mixes. So go ahead and give this a quick stir, because we are sizzling away, my darlings. And I'm going to coat all of this wonderful stuff with the butter in the pan. You can see our celery is turning bright green. I love that. That's part of the point. We're gonna go ahead and saute this until your onion has softened. And from there, we're gonna throw this in here with our chicken broth and our butter. Give it a stir. Put it in an oven-safe pan, or if you're going to be stuffing a turkey with this, you're going to reduce the amount of liquid, about ½ cup of the stock, and then stuff your bird with it. Now, if you're going to go ahead and just have this oven baked with the rest of your meal, go ahead and do it this way. All of the stock, all of the butter. So, our butter is pretty well melted now. We've got chunks of butter in here. They're not quite melted yet, so just give this a quick stir. Oftentimes, your butter will not melt all the way unless it's overcooked. So when you melt it, go ahead and give it a stir. Oftentimes, the rest of your butter will melt right in because of residual heat, and you do not overcook your butter. Cooking your butter until it separates is usually a bad thing. Alrighty, we have butter, and we have about 2 cups of stock. Our aromatics look to be done. I can turn that off. Our oven is coming up to temperature at 350 degrees. It's time to toss this into our bread cubes. Beautiful. I think my bowl was a little small for this. What do you say? Stir in those beautiful vegetables into your bread cubes. The smell will be fantastic. You just want to make sure that you've got your vegetables evenly distributed with your bread cubes. You will start smelling all of that spicy goodness coming up right at you because of those hot vegetables. Now is when you start slowly adding some of your liquid. Give it a toss. Now, some people say, why not just toss it in all at once and, you know, it'll be good, right? Not exactly. If you try tossing your liquid in all at once, you will get some soggy parts, some not soggy parts, and your bread cubes will start falling apart. Patience, my darlings, patience. Now, I'm going to pour some of my stock in with my butter. Mix those up a little bit. You can do this in quarters. And you're just gonna hydrate this until it looks right. That's why in the recipe up above, you will see that I have between 1.5 cups and 2 cups of chicken stock, because sometimes the bread has a little bit more humidity in it than others. Sometimes your aromatics are a little bit more juicy than others. Sometimes the air is drier and not everything is working exactly right. So throw in the rest of that. Looks like things are still a little bit on the dry side, and my oven has just come up to temperature, so I'm gonna throw in the rest of the chicken stock. When you're using this as a baked casserole, this will look positively wet at this point. Now that that is done, you need your baking dish. Go ahead and spoon this wonderfulness into your baking dish. Now, at this point, your bowl can go aside, and you're going to be looking for a bit of tin foil. Going to place this on top of your container, your oven-safe casserole dish, and now this is ready for the oven. And my friends, what have I got over here? What came out of the oven not very long ago, and it is absolutely driving me wild. I need to taste this stuff. Give myself a little bit of this. Oh, wow. The browning on top is beautiful. You've got a custard-like texture. Let's take a taste and see what it's like. The very top has a little bit of crispiness to it. You can taste not only the bread, but the spices, and oh, that butter is wonderful. You've got a lot of different textures going on there. Oh man, Provincial Poultry is bomb. Absolutely. Well, lots of flavor without a ton of salt. When you treat things right, my word, people, you get really great stuff. So that is really easy stuffing with great spices. You can go low salt with this. You can put a little bit of salt in that if you want to. I would recommend you test a batch first before you start salting things. And from our kitchen to yours, that is a fantastic stuffing for your holiday prep. You guys keep things tasty. We will see you next week.